Welcome back. We're going to go ahead and do an example of a geometric series. Okay, now this is going to be the sum. So we're going to find the sum of the first 10 terms where this is our sequence. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to find the general form of the series or the sequence. A sub n equals a sub 1 r to the n minus 1. R equals a sub n plus 1 divided by a sub n, which in this case, we're going to take 2 over 6, which we got to check. Does that equal 2/3 divided by 2? Does that equal 2/9 divided by 2/3? And in all three cases, we end up with 1/3. Okay? So now, our sequence is then a sub n equals 6 times 1/3 to the n minus 1. Okay? That's our sequence. Or that's our sequence. Now, let's find the sum of the first 10 terms. Okay? So we're going to take the sum n equals 1 to 10. 6 times 1/3 to the n minus 1. Okay, so now that equals, we're going to factor out a 6. The sum, n equals 1 to 10. Okay, we're going to start, and that's going to be 1/3 to the n minus 1. Okay, so that equals 6 times, when n equals 1, we get a power of 0. Anything raised to the 0 power is always equal to 1. That's a convention that we take. So 1 plus 1/3 plus 1/9, all the way up to 1 over 3 to the 9th. Okay. Okay, so this is a geometric series with ratio 1/3. So we're going to get 6 times 1 minus 1/3 to the 10th over 1 minus 1/3. Okay. Now I'm going to do this a little bit I'm going to do the algebra a little bit tricky, just because I've found it'll be a little bit better this way. Okay, we'll do the actual write it as a number at the end, but I want to show you guys a nice way to do this. So I'm going to write this as 6 times. Now, 1 minus 1 over 3 to the 10th. That's the numerator, divided by 1 minus 1/3. Okay, you guys should know by now I am a fan of old school division signs. Okay, so that's going to be 6. Now here we're going to do common denominators. 3 to the 10th minus 1 over 3 to the 10th divided by 1 minus 1/3, 3 over 3 minus 1/3, that's just 2 over 3. Same thing, but since the numbers are much smaller, easier to deal with. Okay, so this is going to leave us with 6. I'm going to write it as 2 times 3. 3 to the 10 minus 1 over 3 to the 10 times, remember when I divide, I flip and multiply, 3 over 2. Okay, now I have the benefit is I did this problem before and I was screwing it up, so I'm redoing the video. Okay, cancel the 2's. Okay, 3 to the 10th and 2 3's in the numerator, I'm going to get 3 to the 10 minus 1 over 3 to the 8th. Okay, and that's what I'm going to plug into my calculator. So that's 5,948. I'm sorry, 59,048 divided by, let me just double check that. Yep, 59,048 divided by 3 to the 8th is 6,561. Okay, so that's that one. Let's do another. Let me make sure I get some space. Okay, let's do another one. Let's take the sum. I goes from 1 to 8 of 2 times 3/5 to the r minus 1. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys, I want you guys to do this one on your own. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do it the way that we just did this one. Okay, actually it's a little easier because there's not as much involved. All right, so you paused it, you did it. Let's go ahead and work through it. So this equals 2 times the sum. I goes from 1 to 8. 3/5 to the r. I said r, but it should be I minus 1 here. R doesn't make sense. So if you got stuck on it because of that, go ahead and pause the video again. Okay, moving on. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to write these out just to sort of help me follow. Okay. Sometimes I always find that if I'm getting a little confused about something, it's better just to slow down, take a breath, and say, okay, what is it that I need to do? Where can I start? Slow down, take a breath. I equals 1 is going to give me 0 in the exponent with 1 plus 3/5 all the way up to 3/5 to the power of 7. Okay, so this is going to be, and I'm going to do the same game. 1 minus 3/5 to the 8 over 1 minus 3/5. I'm going to play the same game I did before where I'm not going to write out what the numbers are until the very end. I'm just going to play with the powers. So 2 out in front, 5 to the 8 minus 3 to the 8 over 5 to the 8. That's 1 minus 3/5 to the 8th divided by 1 minus 3/5. I know that one's 2/5. Okay. When I divide fractions, I flip the second one and multiply. Now, this 2 cancels with this 2. This 5 cancels with one of the 5s here. So I'm going to get 5 to the 8th minus 3 to the 8th over 5 to the 7th. And that's what I can calculate. Just check that again. So I get 384,064 divided by 78,125. Okay. All right. We'll go on to the next page. We'll start doing infinite geometric series. Ooh, don't be scared.